found myself saying it. Mighty God. It rolled off my tongue. I didn't think about it. I just said it. Mighty God. I may have been saying it that way for some time. I don't know. But I noticed it that day. It was April of 2019. I was driving away from the hospital on my way back to work for the afternoon. My father lay in a hospital bed with a terminal illness. As I drove away, I found myself saying what was well known as my father's breath prayer, his quiet, confident conversation with God. Mighty God, mighty, mighty God. The first time I remember really connecting Bert and mighty God was in the 70s when I was a teen. I heard my 90-year-old great-grandmother Susie say how much she loved to hear my dad say, mighty God. And in those words, she sensed the presence of a holy God. She believed that when Bert prayed, he was touching heaven. Those words remind me of a sermon I heard my father preach over the years, the one about the fruit tree. The tree that does not groan to put on apples, it does not strain to put on pears, or any fruit for that matter. It is simply fruitful, bearing the fruit it was called to bear. I am grateful that this is a part of me, saying, mighty God, praying, mighty God, knowing this mighty God. I am grateful that this is not me trying to be my dad or trying to be like my dad. It is me doing what I am called to do, to call on the mighty God of all creation, to meet me where I am, to meet us where we are, to meet the needs around us, to grow in relationship with us, to help us love our neighbors as ourselves, to remind us to do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly. Richard Foster is the one who calls this mighty God a breath prayer. I call it my inheritance. You see, my father believed that the Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is upon those of us who believe, that he has called us to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent us to bind up the brokenhearted, to preach freedom for the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, to open the prison doors to those who are bound. My father believed Jesus when he said, come, all you who are weary and heavy laden. Come, all you who labor and are burdened. I will give you rest. I will refresh you. Jesus says, come, walk with me. Let me carry some of the burden. The journey is easier when you let me set the pace. Let me carry some of the load. Jesus never promises to eliminate all of the chaos from our lives. If you wonder why you still face some of the same struggles you brought into your relationship with God, you're in good company. He doesn't magically erase them. But he does promise to be with us when we reach out to him. When we call out to him, he is still our mighty God. Thank you, Dad. Thank you for this rich inheritance. Let it be so.